What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Jupiter, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot cards based upon our lovely ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void of course, there's all those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. In Cancer, happy Jupiter Day. It's Thursday. You know, Jupiter rules over Thursday, so I hope you're feeling expansive, ready to grow. And look at that, Jupiter's here. Love that. But also, Cancer, the moon is in Sagittarius. And with the moon being in Sagittarius, Cancer, you might be feeling a little more optimistic. You know, Sagittarius, they usually have a real good, I like that. They usually have real high spirits there. You know, usually bringing that that enthusiasm, that inspired energy. And you might be feeling a little more inspired there, Cancer. So pay attention to your ideas. You know, maybe this is something. I don't know, like if you have like an idea for like a project that you want to pursue, or maybe you've been feeling more creative in a sense, you know, feel free to express yourself, Cancer. Allow yourself to grow in all aspects. And also, too, Sagittarius is always on the move, so you might be feeling the need to go on an adventure, Cancer. Maybe go for a walk out in nature, or walk out in the city, or wherever you happen to be walking, Cancer. Or maybe you want to go for a drive, or maybe even book yourself a trip. Maybe you've been thinking you're overdue for a vacation. Fantastic energy for that. But also, too, Sagittarius is good for, you know, that higher learning, you know, expanding the mind. And that could be, you know, you might think about wanting to take up like a course of study or anything, or something like that, Cancer. Great energy to work with here. But then also, we are in the waxing crescent phase, and with this, Cancer, this is about really kind of setting your intentions, you know, getting yourself, you know, building that self-confidence, and really starting to get into that planning phase on how we're like incorporating this new routine or new thing that we're working on during this lunar cycle here, Cancer. You know, really building yourself up, trusting your intuition, seeing where it wants to go, and just kind of going within and asking, just seeing if this, if this intention is really kind of lining up with where you're, you know, just resonating with you, Cancer. And then last couple of things. These readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, Cancer, so definitely check them out. Very great group, I think you'd enjoy them. But let's get into your first card, your general energy of the day here, which is the ninth card of Leos, which is the checker flag card. You're almost at the finish line there, Cancer. And with this card, this is a card of conclusion, outcome, finale, completion, verdict, settled, results, signaling the end, finishing first, achievement, culmination, final chapter, endings, and feeling relieved. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the signaling the end. And, you know, I feel like with this energy that there's maybe for some, but we are reaching maybe the end of like a chapter in a sense. You know, maybe we've decided that this could either be like, maybe there's like an old habit that we've noticed that is weighing us down, this kind of like signaling the end of that. Or maybe we see that, maybe even, and this is a little more kind of intense, Cancer, but maybe we have like, there's been this signaling the end of maybe like a relationship, possibly, whether that be in love, or maybe it be with a friendship, maybe even like a family member, or even like a business, possibly. You know, maybe we're thinking about, maybe we've kind of reached this state of just kind of plateaued and like in whatever aspect that is, and there's a need, huh, and I feel like that how appropriate for you that this kind of signaling this end, in Sagittarius season, because it's just like I just feel like that it's like the something inside you, like your gut, your intuition is telling you that there's time to move on to a brand new horizon, just kind of broaden your view. And I feel like with that, because it gives me very kind of like world energy in the sense, it's like, and then once we get to the world, we start all over again as the over with the full energy again. And sometimes I feel that when we do get to an end, we can kind of cling on to that sometimes, because we may not want to. I don't feel like it's that you don't want to grow, but it's just like when you're in a cycle for so long, you really get comfortable in how that operate or how things operate. But you know, change is always happening, Cancer, and we always need to be growing and need to be. That's what Jupiter is all about there, and expanding that consciousness in a sense. And I feel like when we're thinking about signaling the end, like it might be just like that perspective shift where sure endings can be tough, but I feel like if we kind of look at it as instead of signaling the end, it's signaling a brand new beginning. Because when something ends, one door closes, another one opens there, Cancer. So well, let's get some tarot on this and get a little bit more about this end here. Hmm. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got here. Interesting. We got a whole stack here, Cancer. Okay. So, Cancer, you have the Three of Stars, the Four of Stars, the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Crystals, the King of Wands, the Strength card, and big old Papa Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune here, Cancer. And I like that, Cancer. Where are we starting? Because I feel like with this, let's start with the Four of Swords, or excuse me, Four of Stars. Oh, in Cancer, the stars in this deck are pentacles, and then the crystals are swords. And with the Four of Stars here, I feel that with this energy, there is this sense of. I feel like for some, it's like we might be kind of resisting this change, possibly. You see how this person here is kind of shackled down by these pentacles, and it feels like that for some. It's like we might be clinging on to the idea of again that something is ending, as opposed to that something is getting ready to begin. That we're getting ready to get into a. I don't know. It's like the energies are getting ready to be reinvigorated in a sense, and that this is a time to really kind of get into the game plan, to be thinking about how you want to grow and how you want to expand. And get more abundance that's coming through here. And it almost feels like with the Eight of Wands that maybe things for some, it's just like things might be kind of happening maybe a little faster than we had expected them to. The energy's really kind of moving, and sometimes that can bring about this energy of anxiety and weigh down on our confidence, possibly, because it's just like, oh crap, like there's all this stuff it can be happening so quickly. I feel like sometimes it's, I don't know, it's like, yeah, it just feels like that when things move a little faster than we thought. Let's say that we planned on looking for this new job, and then things, we start getting those interviews, and then we start getting that offer letter. It's like, oh crap, I need to put my 2 weeks like yesterday, and it's like we feel like we can't rise to the challenge here, Cancer. But I do feel that, because I like that too, that you got this got Leo energy here when we're talking about this, because I do feel like that I don't know, it's like you're leveling up in a sense. And again, even though what may be getting ready to happen next in that level up brings about more work, more challenges, and maybe bigger challenges in a sense, because as we level up, we start to get as we start to gain more skills, and then it's like more things start to unlock for us here. That's just kind of for some is what I feel like. It's like there's it's just we're really kind of thinking about, or let me get my thoughts together, Cancer. Because like another thing that's kind of coming through here too is that with the Eight of Wands, this can be a card of messages as well. And there's been, maybe we've been getting the signals that we do need to get ready to move on, that we've gotten the most out of this, out of a situation here. And it's time to break out of a, not necessarily put ourselves in an unstable situation, but put ourselves in a position to expand our foundation with the Four of Stars here. I feel like this view is kind of feeling a little limited in where it's at maybe for some, and it's just maybe we don't think that we can accomplish whatever these goals are, whatever this transition is, or I'm even kind of getting with the King of Wands here too. Let me get a little bit more with him, because there's something else that's going on with the King of Wands here. Interesting. Okay. So the King of Wands is clarified by the Eight of Cups and then the Queen of Stars. And it feels like that we are kind of, that for some it's like we maybe kind of walking away from kind of like previous collaborations, it seems like with the Three of Stars here, or previous kind of partnerships, because Three of Stars can be a card of, you know, kind of working with others, and it feels like that maybe for some it's that there's this energy that it's not quite balancing out as well as we had thought, or that something with the harmony has changed, or it's, you know, it's not, it just doesn't, yeah, it just doesn't feel like that it's working as clear as, or as smooth as it used to be, and that we may have tried to adjust this thing, but it just, it's interesting what that, it's almost like our not that our resources, but it's just like it feels like that we're not able to use our skills as efficiently as we could. You know, there's a higher calling that's coming here, Cancer. Now, for some others, and there's also this energy of even trying to, with the Knight of Stars, or yeah, no, excuse me, Knight of Crystals, that we may be trying to rush an end too fast, you know, or that it's like we're trying to almost like force manifestation in a sense, as opposed to letting it just like happen naturally. You know, we're trying to, yeah, like it's like we're trying to put ourselves in a different kind of resonance here, and it's not quite syncing up as well as we had thought. Our energies aren't quite, it's like we're expending a lot of this energy here, but it's just not flowing as well as we would like. I feel like it's like there's this lack of patience that's kind of coming through here as well. Either way, Cancer, it does feel like a lot of stress. Overall, it's just like a lot of questions. I kind of feel like it's going through, and maybe we're not sure how to work through the messages. Or not really sure where our intuition is trying to guide us, and with how fast this energy seems to be kind of coming in, and that we're getting ready to move on to these new chapters, maybe there's a need to just kind of sit for a moment and be just kind of still for a minute. Maybe it's doing some meditation, possibly. Maybe it's doing some journaling, or maybe it's just even like sitting outside in nature. Maybe it's going for a walk by a river, or whatever that is. I'm even kind of getting for some, maybe it's even just like kind of sitting with like a pet. Maybe one of your little furry friends there, and just kind of, if not necessarily with like an animal, just like maybe even listening to the interesting kind of listening to like nature's call, even like to the birds, to the, I don't know, maybe have like a, yeah, like a certain, I'm just feeling like a certain animal that we may be kind of connecting with, seeing how like you got the Queen of Stars here that's got the little rabbit, you got the King of Wands that's got this little what's that looking like? Some kind of little salamander, or some kind of little lizard there. But a lot of energy coming through here, Cancer. But let's get a little bit more on this. Thank you. Oh, all right, Cancer. So you have the Six of Cups here, and then you have the Knight of Stars. And that's what it sort of feels like, Cancer, that there's a need to maybe kind of, because as we're getting towards the end of something, I do feel like that it's time to, sometimes we do need to take a moment and just kind of reflect on all that's happened up until this point. It feels like with the Six of Cups and that combo Six of Cups, Knight of Stars. And just kind of see where areas that we really kind of brought it, and we felt like we were really kind of on track with our energies, and kind of think about too in areas where we could have, just like how we do in the lunar cycles, just think about even areas too where we could improve on, and then let that sort of be your guide towards this, going into this next chapter or this next beginning. Or and I even kind of getting with the Six of Stars that there might even, for some, with this kind of signaling the end, if this is sort of like maybe like a relationship that's possibly ending, or maybe not even ending, but because the Six of Cups can also be like a card of nostalgia, and I feel like for some it's just like maybe we're not, if we were in that energy of feeling kind of stuck or not wanting to maybe let go of something, is that we're feeling this nostalgia, we're feeling this, we feel like secure in a sense in the past or in how things have been going, but it just seems like with the energies that there is a need to kind of move on here, Cancer. Just thinking with the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Wands, just even like the Knight of Crystals is one. Let me get a little bit more on the Six of Cups, Cancer. Thank you. All right, Cancer. So the Six of Cups is clarified by the Ten of Crystals and then the Ace of Cups here. And it does feel like for some, if we are kind of moving on from a relationship, possibly, again, this could be in love, this could be in friends, family, and we're realizing that we need to, maybe it's not that we're not necessarily ending, but it's just like we need to put some distance between the two. Or maybe we had something where we were kind of hurt in the past, or that we had a situation that just felt like, I almost feel like we've been kind of like maybe burned in a sense, or something that may have been said or that was done that made us kind of feel some kind of way. And it just, and even like this, even despite that, there still may be this kind of love that's there for this, maybe this person. Or, and this could even be, even to go a little broader, let's say if we're maybe moving to a new, maybe we're signaling the end as far as like maybe moving to like a new place possibly. Maybe there's this love for that there, but it's an interesting kind of contradiction there, Cancer, with the Ten of Crystals and the Ace of Cups. And I feel like the question is if this situation or this relationships are filling our cups the way that they did. Or is do we, and it might even be signal like, there might even be this energy of needing to forgive a certain situation in order to move on, possibly, Cancer. That might even be something that's going on here. That, hmm, yeah, that's something to think about there, Cancer. All right, Cancer. Let's get some advice from Jupiter here. Hmm. All right, Cancer. So you last a little bit here. You have the Six of Crystals, the Page of Cups, and then you got the Hermit here. And then let's switch back over. Because with this energy, Cancer, the Six of Crystals is moving on to a new experience. We're moving on to a new shore here. To a new set of, I don't know, I've a new set of like ideas, and a new set of new ways of growth, and a new challenges here. And I do kind of feel for some that there is this need to, just considering how fast the Knight of Crystals can be sometimes. I feel like sometimes we can want to rush so fast to the future that we do forget. It's a mix here. For some, it's like we can, we may be needing just to kind of take a moment into, not that we're not, we're not moving on, but there, I do feel there is something to reflect on. Especially if we were, just thinking about this Ten of Crystals, Ace of Cups, that Six of Cups little trio there, that there's something here that may needs some healing possibly, or just something that's wanting to be processed here in all that. Especially if this was a, some sort of relationship where we felt hurt or felt betrayed, or we kind of gave our all there, but then got, just, and then just got it just kind of taken away, or just gotten it where, I don't know, it was just kind of hurt in a sense there, Cancer. But I do feel that there is, just with the Knight of Stars for some others, that there is a need to be mindful of staying in something too long, getting stuck in that type of energy, and not, not allowing yourself to get out there and move on to into, to different shores, and to see where things could possibly take you. So yeah, just a little something to think about there, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So yeah, hope that made sense. That was a lot that was coming through there. But if anything resonated with you, or you like that, give it a thumbs up. And share this thing, Cancer, if you know someone who's maybe... Yes, it was like a weird mix. It's like some were getting signals to that there's a need to move on, that we're getting to the end of something. Some is just like, like we're getting right. And it's, excuse me, very, very interesting energy there, Cancer. But, and then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button, you get notified when I release videos each day. And then last little bit, check your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Jupiter. And Jupiter wanted to come out here so bad. I love that. And then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos. I do weekly videos, monthly ones, yearly ones. It's a good old time, Cancer. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. And you got the Hanged Man here. And I feel like with this, Cancer, that there is this... I do feel like that when we're thinking about, especially if we've been feeling maybe kind of stuck and, we're kind of sad about something ending, I do feel like there is a perspective shift that would maybe help, again, move that along. Instead of looking at that as the end of something, it's like we're getting ready to begin something new, and that's, it just doesn't, and it's like, it's just those little tweaks in how we think, Cancer, that just makes the growth and the change just move a lot more smoother. I feel like, because it's not that we're ignoring the end of things, it's just we acknowledge the end for what it is, a motivation, a motivator to, or an indicator to, again, start something new. It's just that cycle of life. It's and I just feel like that there's this... It's like how this big old stars here on the Night of Stars. It does gives, like, I don't know, it's like there's this epiphany that kind of comes here. Just like we see the signals a lot more clear, like, oh, okay, I need to start going towards this light now. Okay, or I need to start going towards this area now. Or, hopefully that makes sense, Cancer. But let's get, let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Interesting, Cancer. Alright, so you got the 47th card here, which is the Skull Cap card, which is the card of stillness. And this is ruled by Pluto and by Saturn. And I do feel like, just for, if you just resonated with this, I do feel that even though things are moving kind of fast, or whether they're moving fast and you're just kind of going things along, starting that new chapter, or if we do feel stuck, I do feel that it would for both areas, there would be this energy, or there's this, I feel like it would be beneficial to, again, just kind of allow yourself to kind of sit with where we're kind of at on this journey, and where growth needs to happen, maybe where we need to be a little more disciplined, maybe where we need to kind of, and think maybe about the responsibilities that are getting ready to come on, maybe the ones that we might have been ignoring, just, or, whatever things just kind of come to light there, Cancer. Because it's interesting too, I'm just kind of looking at these hourglasses on this card here, and the time, the sands are moving, even when, no matter what is going on there, Cancer. But I feel that there's this, to just remember to be, that when things do feel like they're dragging or feel like they're accelerating, to find moments to remember the present, and to ground yourself in this moment, because this is where all the manifestation happens. These moments right here, and as you're just going along, and it's almost like as you're staying in that present, you start to become aware. You feel the time, or you feel the sands moving, but not in a stressful kind of way. It more so just like all right, now I need to this is where I need to go, or this is where the energies need to go, or yeah, I hope that makes sense, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there, Cancer, with these new beginnings that are coming through here, Cancer, and possibly letting go of some situations or some relationships, whatever that may be looking like. Keep eyes on the moon. That might be a good way to find some stillness. Sit with the moon for a little while. She's always changing phases, and but even she goes void of course sometimes. Well, all the time. And just allow yourself some of that quiet, that stillness, that space, Cancer. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.